Hey guys, Rob here, and welcome back to another ConjureCast. Lots to go over today in just a little bit of time, so I'm going to jump right into it. We're going to get started with a little bit of blade mail. I had a couple pieces come in this week. Not much, but I figured I'd save it and do it with you guys, so you guys can get a first look at what I've got coming in. So the first package is here from Adam Johnson at Straight Jacket Distribution. This is where I ordered my Soleus equipment street frames from, and looks like they have sent me a couple spare axles. So the frame uses that one-sided race axle format. I wasn't short any initially, but it's just a nice, well, now I have one. It's a nice touch to have a few spares, and so thanks a lot, Adam and Kyle, for sending those over. That is a nice little touch. The second piece of mail I have today, and the final, is a little package from Philip Moore over in Oakland, California. So this is exciting. Shout out Philip. And what do we have here? Oh, very cool. That's sweet. Ring bone sticker. I really dig that. That's cool. And then we have a hat. This is a nice dad hat. Make America Blade Again. I can absolutely get down with that message, regardless of where you stand on politics. Doesn't freaking matter. Shut up and blade, and this is a message we should all be pushing. So thanks a lot, Philip, for sending this over. I'm going to wear it proudly, and yeah, that's really cool. So thanks a lot. All right, so the next thing I wanted to get into was announcing the winner of the Sean Smith wheel giveaway. So last video, when we showed you the new Konjure brand Sean Smith wheels, I asked you guys to leave a comment giving Sean a congrats, and we've gone through the last few days and looked at all the comments that poured in. You guys have been really great with the support. It sounds like everybody's excited about the new wheel and the design. People are starting to receive them in the mail now, and I've seen a couple people skating them so far, so that's really cool. The comment that we selected was from our good friend Craig Spavin. So I'm going to read this to you really quick, and I'll throw it up on the screen so you can see it as I'm reading it. But congratulations, Sean. This is really great. Sean's your boy is definitely one of my favorite Instagrams to follow. Always watch before a session for some inspiration. Refreshing to see somebody with their own style, not obviously influenced by anybody else. And that backyard setup is something else. Making Aeons look really good, and they'll look even better with a set of these wheels. So, Craig, we absolutely agree. Thank you so much for the kind words. I'll be sure to send out a set of these really quick. I'll shoot you a message to get your address. And to everybody else that subscribed and threw a comment down, thank you so much for the support. So next thing I wanted to take a quick look at was touching base on the DIY heel lift liner fix that we went over a couple videos ago. I never really kind of showed you guys how it all fit together once I got the liners back in. So as you recall, these MyFit Skinny Boy liners combined with the USD7 Roman Abrat skate, we had a little bit of liner lift. The slippery outer material on the liner was just kind of sliding against the back of the heel and not providing a good lock. So it gave me a heel lift sensation, which I really dislike. We applied some shoe goo, and you can check out that DIY video of how to do that fix. But I just wanted to show you that liner is completely locked in there. Now, I did not glue the liner into the skate. It's just that grippy, rubbery silicone material applied to the outside is just pushed up against the plastic shell and preventing any of that liner slip. So really glad that worked out. I hope you guys try that out, and I hope it solves some problems for some of you guys. So I also wanted to follow up with with my first impression of the Soleus street frames. So I showed you guys, I didn't really show you guys, but I set up a video a couple weeks ago and I received them and just gave you guys a closer look. I had these set up on my Adapt custom skates with the new Konjure Sean Smith wheels, and I really only got to try these skates for the first time on Friday night. So I headed to the local indoor skate park, Metro Skateboard Academy, with young Paul, and we had a nice quick Friday night session. Really though, I was just trying to get a good first impression of these frames. So I'm coming from the Symmetrics frames, which I have set up very similar, 60mm flat. Dimensionally, they're pretty similar overall. The things that I like the most about the Symmetrics frames, the groove is really ideal in my opinion for skating flat. 60 millimeter, no problem at all with wheel bite. Nice shallow groove will keep your wheels up off of that ledge or obstacle, so I kind of like a shallow groove, and that was why I was pretty excited about the Sola frame. The downside to the Symmetrics frames is that they're made out of that really slick material. That slick material grinds well on pretty much everything. The downside is that it's a little bit more flexible than your average injection molded plastic. Obviously, it's going to be a lot more flexible than aluminum, so the effect that you get on the Symmetrics frame while skating flat is that the frame tends to flex a little bit, and when you're applying your body weight and pressure to the wheels, it's more focused on 2 or 3 at a time instead of all 4. Although it's not a rockered setup, you get that rockered sensation. It's fun and it's good for maneuverability, and I really like it depending on where I'm skating. It can also affect grip though, so a rockered setup will allow for more wheel slide, more drifting because you have less pressure applied to the wheels. So you get more of a slide sensation. Again, that's fine if you're going for that, but if I'm riding ramps or trying to carve bowls, I just don't want to have to worry about slipping out. Another thing about the Symmetrics frames is the wide plastic material. When you lean over, you're a little bit more prone to washing out from losing that wheel clearance there. The Sola frames, in contrast, are, again, dimensionally very similar. So the length is pretty much right on. The 2-3 split is almost identical. There's a little bit more space on the Sola frame. The dimension as far as the height of the H-block, where you're interacting with it and how it affects your Royale Farfignugan, it's really essentially the same as the Symmetrics, so I had no surprises as far as how I had to get over on my tricks or any of that. First thing I noticed skating them is that I felt like I was stuck to the ground, and that was because all 4 of my wheels were actually touching the ground. There's no flex in this frame, and it completely stabilizes the boot, so I don't get any of that inherent rocker effect. It took me a couple minutes to get used to just because I've been skating the other frames for so long, but I appreciated it pretty quickly because it kind of helped me with a stronger stride. And the added grip, that feeling of grip, especially in like a wooden bowl, I was skating the other night, I had no issues with sliding, so that was really great. The second thing I noticed is that the narrow frame wall material allows for more clearance as you're striding and carving, so I can get over a lot further on my wheels without the frame material touching and causing me to wash out. Not a problem I have at all with most frames, not even with the Symmetrics frames, especially on 60 millimeter wheels. But occasionally, every once in a while, say I got a weird angle in a bowl corner or something like that, I would have that little washout, and sometimes it's treacherous, sometimes it's fun, but it's just one of those surprises you don't like. As far as how they grind, that's what everybody was really concerned about. So I skated indoor park, wooden ramps with steel coping, and I tested them with the aluminum H-blocks, and right away I could tell, even just going up and doing a backside stall, my feet were sliding out and in. And aluminum on steel, if it's the right environment, slides very well. I can imagine there's some environments out there where these just will get stuck up a little bit and not be perfect, but really, if you are skating indoor park, it's just a really great frame. Top sides and sole style slides on the side of the frame, absolutely no problem. I'd say it just kind of slides like a normal frame there. The sound is obviously a little bit more metallic than plastic, but really not noticeable on the top side stuff. The groove tricks though, I definitely noticed it. Not so slippery that you don't feel controlled. The aluminum kind of gives you a little bit of grip on the steel. It's pretty hard to explain that sensation, but absolutely no problem at all. I didn't apply any wax to anything, and everything just slid absolutely fine. So really happy with them so far. You can see a little bit of the finish scraping off there. H-block is pretty much untouched. There's just a little bit of wax on there. These frames will last forever. I really look forward to getting a lot more time in them, and I just wanted to give you guys my first impression of them. How I plan on looking over products and reviewing everything is to give you guys my first look. So we unpack it, we take a look at the fit and finish and the tolerances and all the things, just kind of getting a good eye on it before we mess around with it. Then I will give you guys my first impression, so I'll get a couple skates on it or try out whatever the things may be and let you know how I feel initially. If I like it, I don't like it. And then I'll give myself a couple weeks or a couple months to really get in and test out the product and look for its strengths and weaknesses, and then report back to you guys after a few months once I've really tried the stuff and I'll give you a good, honest review on all of that. So lots more stuff coming, and that'll be my format moving forward. So the last thing I wanted to go over today is the new Kaltik K-Skate. So I received these last week, about a week ago, and these came from our friend Gabe up at Thorough Skate. Really, really cool skate. Obviously, I'm not going to skate these. I just wanted to get them in my hands and kind of take them apart and take a closer look at them. There have been several kids skates over the years. You've got the USD Transformer skate. There was the Genesis Junior skate, the K2 Mini Enemy, I believe it was called, and there may have been one or two other kid-specific aggressive skates. But I'm happy to see something new, and something new for 2018, 2019. So my first initial impression of this skate, taking out of the box, is that it feels pretty well made. I kind of thought that this was going to be like a generic Chinese skate with a retrofitted sole plate and then a standard UFS frame, and that's probably what this is, but it's not just a crap Chinese skate. It looks to be a really nice skate, and it's adjustable. So we're going to head over to the desktop and take these apart, take a closer look at everything, and I will tell you how I feel, and then meet me back here before the end, and I will tell you where to go, because I'm going to be giving these away. All right, guys, so let's take a look at the new Kaltik K-Skate. So again, first impression right out of the box is that these appear to be a really nice, well-made skate. For the price point, I think you're getting good quality. Construction feels good, materials feel nice. We're going to take it apart and look at the individual components, but overall, really good looking skate. If I was a kid getting into it, I would not be ashamed to strap these on. Much, much better than my first pair of skates. I actually remember my first aggressive skate being the original Bauer front side, and although the dead old Bauer skate was a great hockey skate, it just wasn't a very comfortable aggressive skate, and not really the best to learn in, especially because they weren't my size. Having a nice adjustable skate like this, especially being a young guy or girl whose foot is going to be growing quickly, these will help you stay ahead of that, and a good fit just matters so much. You guys all know that. So let's take a look at the individual components here. The first thing that I really wanted to take a look at, because this is what stood out to me, was the liner. So this is a really nice liner, definitely better than what I thought was going to be in here. So the material is just kind of like that standard breathable mesh material. The foam, though, is a nice dense foam, especially up through the cuff and heel section here. When I was a young kid, that's literally the only thing I remember from so many of my original skates, was the liners were thin and that they were just not very comfortable. So right off the bat, you're going to get these kids started with a good, comfortable skate that fits right. That's just a really good first impression of skating for them. It really, really sucks getting into it with ill-fitting skates and things that are comfortable. I think these look pretty cool with that Kaltik logo up on the tongue there. And if you look at the structure of the liner, it's got a flexible, not really a neoprene, but a nice elasticy center section here. This is not a part that would kind of really provide much padding otherwise, so it's a good place to put that. Your toe and heel are still nice and padded, but this will expand with the skater's foot, so that's really cool. Very happy with that. Pretty generic footbed in there, but you can upgrade that for your kid if you want. Really nice liner though. The shell itself, sorry, some dust here. The shell itself is a nice plastic shell. I'm going to take the little piece out of here so you can get an idea of how this works. So you can see there's some hardware in there. Basically, you have two pieces of shell here, which with adjustments on the inside, you loosen up the screw there. You can slide these together and apart. So this is probably the smaller size. Oh wow, there's actually a button, so I don't even have to use the hardware internally. This just adjusts by pushing a button. Well, I'm not going to struggle with that now, but you get how that works. Really, really cool, simple design though. And very cool. Nice for adjustability. Not really much to say about the boot here. It's a flat bottom boot, so I guess that's how it works well with the sole. You have a standard buckle as well as a like a heel strap mid buckle there, so nice ratcheting feature there. It's nice to be able to get that heel lock in with that strap, so that's a nice little touch for them as well. The sole plate is what I was really interested in. So what you have here is I guess it's a nylon injection molded. It's a symmetrical design, not really too wide, not too narrow, definitely functional with little backslide grooves. Pretty cool. You got the little Konjure logo there, or I'm sorry, Kaltik logo there on the top and bottom. Pretty straightforward. I think it's definitely better than the sole plates we had when I was a kid, so that'll definitely do the job. Basically, the purpose of this is to take a skate which would otherwise not have a UFS mount frame and make it UFS compatible. So we'll go from the sole plate to the frame. Kaltik includes here their standard freestyle frame. I don't know if I would want to get started on a freestyle frame, or at least have my kids getting started on a freestyle frame, but if you want to teach your kids how to grind, this is a cool place to start. You can literally just grind anything. So that's not bad. You guys have seen these frames. They've been around forever. Kaltik makes nice frames. And then they finish it off with the Kaltik, I believe these are the spinner wheels. So these are a 60mm 90A wheel, full round profile. Very similar to the 60mm profile that we're using. Nice black urethane, simple print. Good looking wheel, feels like pretty decent urethane. Lots of people skating these out there, so I don't think there's any issues with quality. And then they added some, looks like some ABEC 9 bearings. So decent bearings, much better than the ABEC 1, ABEC 3 stuff that I used to get in my old skates when I was a kid. So this will absolutely get them rolling and in the right direction. If you wanted to use a different frame, it's UFS compatible, so you can try out anything on the market. But otherwise, that is the K-Skate. So hope you guys like it, and I hope you guys can participate in the giveaway and get a kid skating on these. All right, guys, one more thing before I go. I want to give these skates away. So what we're going to do this time, a little bit different. I'm going to have you head over to the ConjureCast Instagram page. Keep an eye out for a post going up later this afternoon where I'll give you instructions on what to do to win these skates. So if you've got a kid that fits within this size range and want to get them rolling, or get them rolling on something new and better, go participate. Even if you don't have kids, if you've got a niece, a nephew, if you've got a buddy that skates that wants to get their kid into skating, I don't care. Neighbor kid that you think you could get rolling, doesn't matter. Go check out that Instagram post, and I'll give you guys instructions on how to win. So thanks so much for hanging out. I'll see you guys again soon, and happy skating.